Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is, at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is politics done right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. But, folks, you heard what I said. I know you guys have been listening to KPFT all along, and you've been hearing, oh, we're begging. They're begging for money again. They're begging for money again. And you know what? In fact, we are begging for money, but we don't want you to get away because we have a lot to talk about. Today, I have a subject that you guys are going to love. I mean, we are going to be on a teaching session today because Egberto Willies right now is not too happy with a lot of what's going on, folks. So we are going to have a real show today. But before I get started, I want to say, Don, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing better than yesterday.
I know. I hear you kind of speaking with that kind of an accent these days because something happened to you. Hey, is our Pledge Central up, going, and ready to go?
Yeah, we're here.
Hey, Lupita, how are you doing, my dear friend?
I'm good, estoy bien. ¿Y tú?
Estoy bien, estoy tratando. Tenemos que conseguir mucho dinero hoy.
That's right.
That's right. We got to get a whole lot of money today, my dear friends, because you know what? Yesterday, or last week, Politics Done Right did horrendously well. You guys listened to Diane Trotman. You guys listened to all those people that we brought on, but you didn't give me enough. So Don is going to throw me out the door. Don.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Answer me, Don.
Okay.
Are you going to throw me out the door if I don't make it, my brother?
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about
We'll
it.
have a conversation.
We'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
But, folks, so, look, we have a lot to talk about, and I'd like you to stay with me. Right now, I'm about to cue. Hey, Don, say a little something so I can cue my thing here.
Of course. Folks, one thing that Egberto and Lupita have not said yet is the phone number that you could call, which is 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738. Not only can you call that number, but you can also text GIVE to 713-526-5738. Get a new shirt, either the red shirt or the gray shirt. It's new shirts with new logos. And then we have our hemp bags. The shirts are $100. Our brand new hemp bags are $75. It's a easy process. You either call. We have people waiting. It's very simple and it's easy. And truthfully, it's just so you'll have a radio station that'll be around for years and years and years to come, instead of waiting for a radio station that's just dying and going away because we don't want to give towards a radio station that, I don't know. Somebody else will do it. No, nobody else will do it. It is up to you for you to put money towards a radio station that, if you have seen anything online, you have seen this radio station grow and grow and grow, and we will continue to grow regardless of what anyone says. We will continue to have Politics Done Right. We will have more people with more information and make sure the information that comes to you is able to be from the community.
You know what I love? Before we get started with the program, folks, I love what these young people are doing here. Don and crew, Don, Nabu, Lupita, todos estamos aquí trabajando bien duro, and they are really moving this station into the future. And to do that, we need you to move it into the future. So we're going to get started with the program. We have, before we get to the program, we are first and foremost a community radio station, and we have an organization here, AAPI, and I'm not going to try to say the name. She'll do it, but Ariel Aranzamende is Aranzamendes
Yeah, you said it right.
is here with us today, and she has a big announcement. And after the announcement, we're going to get into the show. This is a very important show, folks. Ariel, por favor.
Yeah, my name is Ariel Mendez. I'm the Asian American Pacific Islander field organizer for the Harris Democratic Party. And I'm sure you know during the midterm elections, like we had an upturn, a lot of people voting in the elections, like more than we've ever seen before.
Yes.
Even the Asian American community. However, the Asian community kind of still lags when it comes to civic engagement. And that includes not only voting, but interacting with elected officials or candidates, compared to like other cities like Chicago and New York City and stuff.
Right.
So what we are doing is we're organizing an event on March 19th for all the municipal candidates from Houston and Sugar Land to do a meet and greet with the Asian American community. So it gives the Asian community a first-hand experience with talking to their candidates and to like question them. Giving them a way to like pressure them into doing what they want and like just seeing what they're all about, right?
Now, you're making this specific push into the Asian American community. Are you looking at any other demographic as far as, I'm talking about young people, older folks? What are you looking at?
For coming to the event?
Yes.
So like in my work, I target everybody, of course. Specific, like especially the youth, they organize very well. People of all age groups. So we're wanting everyone from all age groups to come to this event, just to get involved. Right.
Politically, that is.
Yes.
Now tell us where it is again, and tell us a little bit more, just to make sure we get. Because we have a wide audience here, and an audience that need to hear this. One of the things we've been trying to do for quite a while is activate the entire community, because we understand that is political power is people power,
yes, exactly.
and that's what we have to get going.
Yeah. So it's at Maharaja Kebab and Grill Restaurant. So you're gonna get really good food in the process, like really good food. It's at 3711 Highway 6, Houston, Texas. If you go on the Harris Democrats page, if you go on the calendar, you can find more information.
Right.
On like the event and how to sign up. Part of the event also is, are you familiar with like Street Preston Kulkarni?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we're not.
We interviewed him here.
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yes.
But I'm sure you're aware then that like his campaign of reaching out to Asian.
Yeah.
His campaign to reaching out to Asian voters was like revolutionary.
Oh yes, and not only that, it made national news.
Yeah, he used like so many different Asian languages, right?
Right.
And we are inviting him to speak also at the event, just to talk about that. Like, how did he activate so many Asian American voters?
Well, that is great that you're pulling in folks that actually, he was on the ground, and he had a very good team on the ground communicating with people, and he didn't lose that election by much.
No, not by much, especially in Sugar Land. That's a big deal.
Especially in Sugar Land, so that's a possibility. So if, activating that community is going to be one great thing to get done. So tell them again where that is so that we can make sure to have to make sure that folks show up, and then also tell them about how they can register or give an RSVP that they're coming, that sort of thing.
Awesome. So it's at Maharaja Kebab and Grill Restaurant. That's going to be 3711 Highway 6, Houston, Texas. The event is going to be on March 19th, and we're going to have it from like 7 to 9 p.m.
Right.
And if you want more information about how to like sign up, I have a really long link, but I'll just give the short one.
You're right.
Just harrisdemocrats.org/calendar. And if you go to March 19th, you'll be able to sign up and RSVP.
Be sure to also just drop me a line with a short thing that I can put in our newsletter as well.
Of course.
And then also, it's March 19th, so there's still 2 weeks that we can mention this on air. So be sure to tell me, Egberto, you better say that. And then I'll go ahead and say that's our job. We are what, Don, if not a community radio station, and it is our job to put these kind of events out from everybody that's out there trying to do something positive in the community.
Yeah, we'll talk after this.
Yes.
We'll make sure a PSA is done.
Hey, thank you so much, guys.
Absolutely. That is what we're all about, folks. If you're listening out there and you have an important event, just like Ariel had, something that's bringing the community together, something that's activating the community, that is what we're for, folks. 713-526-5738. And by the way, before I go with the blog of the week, before I go with anything else, I need those phones to ring, my dear brothers and sisters. Last week, I confess. I don't know why. Do you not like me anymore? I confess, I blew it. I didn't make it last week. Now I'm asking you so kindly to call 713-526-5738. You know what we bring. You know the reasons that we are here. We need to get this system changed, and we can only do it with you. You are the owners of this station. You are the owners of Politics Done Right. I am here to serve. Don is here to serve. Lupita is here to serve. We are here to serve. 713-526-5738. Give me a closer before we get into the program.
Oh, what do you mean?
Just tell me a closing statement before we get finish, because we're going into the program now.
Oh, yes. Again, please sign up for the event at harrisdemocrats.org/calendar. It's going to be on March 19th from 7 to 9. You're going to get really good food at Maharaja Kebab and Grill Restaurant, as well as learn about your candidates and voter outreach initiatives.
Well, look, thank you so kindly for stopping by. Feel free to stay in the studio or whatever you want to do, but it was a pleasure talking to you, Ariel. And again, like I said, make sure that we keep this on the calendar and make sure that we keep pushing your programs. And if you have anything else later on, we're here.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so kindly. Folks, we are going to have a wonderful show for you today. Listen, the title of the show today is Why Our Economic... Wait, is that the title of the show, or is that the blog of the week? Oh, no, this is the title of the show. Why Our Economic System is Designed to Keep Most People Broke by Robbing Us Legally. And I mean that, by robbing us legally. Subtitle of the show, Our Economic System is Designed to Rob the Masses of all of their income, thus preventing the growth of our wealth. We are doomed if we do not fix it. And thankfully, we have young people like Ariel out here working their butts off in the community to make sure that we make that change. Folks, when I talk about these things, it's not hyperbole. It is not hyperbole. The blog of the week is going to turn insulin into a story much deeper than diabetes, much deeper than insulin. So I want you to stay with me. Please stay with me. I know you hate fund drives. Guess what? Egberto hates fund drives too, but we got to do it if we want to pay the light bill. That 100,000 watt transmitter, Don, it takes a whole lot to power that, don't it?
It's not even just that. It's just if you want your radio station to grow past 1970, let's at least try to aim for that instead of just aiming for keeping the lights on. Let's grow the damn station.
That's why
I stop sitting back and going, oh well, the station it's just a house, we can move it. No, this is our station. Stand up for it.
You know why I like young people? Because, I'm a bit older, and I'm there saying, people, please give money. Help us keep the light on. This millennial in the next side of the window come on and say, damn it, guys, you know you want this. Give us the damn money, because if we want to grow, we have to grow for you. Actually, Don, great.
Yeah, we deserve better.
Go ahead, Ariel.
Yeah, we deserve better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And let me talk to the millennials now. Millennials, this guy here knows that you deserve better. This guy here knows that you've had the short end of the stick. And you know what? We have a whole lot of Gen Xers and Boomers here rooting for you. So, folks, give us a call, 713-526-5738. And I'm into the program for real now. Subtitle, Our Economic System is Designed to Rob the Masses of all of their income, thus preventing the growth of our wealth. We are doomed if it's not fixed. Look, we continue to talk around the edges on most issues. That is the reason why every year the personal economy of Americans in the aggregate gets worse. The Plutocracy uses techniques to give the impression of cyclical well-being. You know, the boom and bust cycles where we accept crap with the expectation of a boom of all booms. That boom of all booms that is never going to come. Those millennials that are busting their butts in college just to know that when they get out, they'll owe more bills than they will able to actually get a job for or able to buy a home. Folks, can't you see that if we grow these folks, they buy homes, they move the economy? If we're not selfish, if the plutocracy isn't, can't we see that? Folks, The average American simply gets progressively less economically fulfilling booms. It has been a steady decline. Today I use a healthcare issue to bring the point home because it affects us all. Now, even as we are in Fund Drive at KPFT, I am giving you a full show. I ask that you call in and give a pledge to support Politics Done Right at kpft.org. Now, please be sure to select Politics Done Right from the drop-down box so that Don knows it's actually a Politics Done Right contribution. You know, folks? So please call 713-526-5738. Now, I'm going into the part of the show. You want to say something, Don? Oh, no. Okay, I'm going into the part of the show right now where you guys have heard before. So please use this time to call 713-526-5738. What Don and I are going to go through now, you hear all the time. So please, this is for the newcomers. I want you to call right now. Is the phone ringing, Don?
No.
Come on, folks.
No, the lines are completely open.
Hey, the line, Lupita just said it. Lupita, di algo a la gente. Necesitamos que llamen.
Por favor, ayúdanos.
Look, we need those calls to come in right now. 713-526-5738. Come on, let them call so I can give you a hell of a blog of the week. This is going to be a blog of the week that is going to be informative. But secondly, this is going to be a blog of the week that is going to be inspirational and telling you this is what we have to do. I spent some time on doing this thing and I really want to get out there and do it now. So please give a call to 713-526-5738. We need those contributions. But let's go ahead and continue here. Before I get to the program, I want to remind all our listeners I want to remind all of our listeners that KPFT is a bastion of intelligent voices and programs. As a political activist myself, my favorites are Think Wing Radio with
Mike Honig on Mondays at 3 p.m.
Of course, we've got Open Journal with
Dwayne Bradley and crew on Mondays at 6 p.m.
And then we have Jazz Latino, Afro-Cuban Latin Jazz at its very best with
Juan Flores on Tuesdays at noon.
And there is the show right after this, my buddies, Naboo and crew, Yogi and crew, Gender Asian Radio, a weekly program featuring an eclectic mix of Asian underground, Bhangra, Bollywood funk, Hyundai, Rai, where ancient sounds meet future beats, and that is
Tuesdays, 4 to 6 p.m.
right after Politics Done Right. So, folks, let's start the giving right now, 713-526-5738. And you know what? We have Border Radio, and that is when again?
That is Thursdays from you put it on
yeah, this is wrong. It's
it's okay. It is Thursdays at 4.
Right, featuring Susan Darrow. And of course, there's Black on Both Sides, a public affairs program where with the effort to highlight politics and public affairs in line with our individual and collective worldview. That is on
Fridays from 12 to 2 p.m. on HD2.
Absolutely. So, folks, check out our full schedule at kpft.org, where you can find programming from music to politics and medicine to the eclectic. KPFT is listener-supported public community radio station. So please, 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 please remember that if you like what you hear, please give us a call at 713-526-5738. The only real progressive station in the entire Southeast Texas needs your support. So please let those phones ring. Please, Don, tell me the phones are ringing. I need to hear that for my sanity.
Okay. They're ringing.
Okay, great. No, they're not.
We currently have a pledge in process.
All right.
So
we need some more, my brothers and sisters. We have a high limit that we have to reach. Don, can you tell them a few things that they can get before I go into the blog of the week?
I get a lot of stuff.
Well, before you tell them, I'm going to tell them one, because this one here is personal to my heart.
Okay.
I wrote a book called As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. That book is a few years old, and let me tell you, I am still selling that book on Amazon and everywhere else, but you can get that book by contributing to KPFT and doing a double duty, refreshing your mind with things that I'm telling you, folks. You read that book and a lot of things that you're not sure of, that you don't know that's really happening in this economy is in that book, and it's worth the pledge. What is the pledge that we have for that book right now? Do you know? I think it's a pledge of $100. You give $100 to KPFT, you got that book. So, yeah.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Why'd you write that book?
Look,
What made you write that book and then also quit your job?
Let me tell you, look, things were really, really bad with the Tea Party. And the country just seemed like it was falling apart. And I felt like the mainstream media and all these other institutions were doing people a disservice. I thought, my God, why aren't you telling them this? Why aren't you telling them that the reason the Republicans are doing this is because the economy works XYZ and this helps their friends? Why don't you know that Obama is not going for Medicare for all and instead he's even dropped the public option because of how the system works? Nobody was telling Americans the truth. Nobody was telling them that the reason why prices are high is a patent system that really messes with them. Nobody was telling them that if you're a farmer, a big agricultural company can take your farm because somebody else's pollen who's using their fertilizer their seeds got into your. There's a lot of things like that in that book that illustrates to Americans why we need to be not only upset, we should be upset, but why we should be doing something about it and what we can do something about. I don't write something to say, hey, look at all the problems in the world and shout all the problems. The idea, Don, was also to give a solution. Then the second question you ask is, why did I quit my job? Okay, I had my own software company. And I also have a daughter that I put through college. When she was done with college, I could really explore what I know needed to be done. All the times I've had a big mouth, and my big mouth always said, why is this happening? Somebody should do something about that. Somebody should do something about that. And I finally said, you know who that somebody's going to have to be? That somebody's going to have to be me. I don't want to self-serve here, brothers and sisters, but I gave up a lot. It's funny. My wife is the lupus group leader in Kingwood and the surrounding areas, the lupus facilitator. And she went to a function this Saturday, and everybody kept on saying, like, wait a minute, why are you working now? And she looked at them and said, well, because we have insurance that, no longer there because of what I decided to do.
Yeah.
Now, she's doing her part as well. The thing about it, folks, is we left quite a bit to say we have to make a change, not for one or two people, but for the entire society. So please, everybody, nobody's asking anybody to sacrifice more than they're willing to do or what they can do. But what we're asking folks to do is please help support something that's going to support us all. And that includes the work that we do here, which is it's more than altruistic. Don is a very resourceful person. And Don doesn't have to be managing a KPFT. He has the intellect to manage much more. And he spends his time.
Thank you so much.
No, that's a fact. I wasn't trying to make you feel good.
Wow.
Don, so you have a lot of people here, a lot of us, not only Don, a lot of people here that they decided that, society, a good society with a few people doing well is not a good society. I'm going to tell you, folks, I was doing very well. I'm not so much anymore because, again, there's always, I grew up in Panama, Central America, and there's always this thing in my, I always tell a little story. Folks, call 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. We need those phones ringing. But, I remember when I took my first economics class and I said, if there's a lot of demand for my product, I can actually reduce the price of my product. I didn't realize how economics really work. That's the altruistic face that I had on until my economics teacher explained a few things to me. And then I said, yes, but we could still make it better so that we don't gouge people. I'll explain that in another vlog some other time. But folks, please give us a call at 713-526-5738. Please tell me the phone is ringing.
We have someone to thank.
Please.
Actually, yes. So we have Montana from Houston.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, Nantana. Now, please, somebody or many more, please follow him. Is it a him? I didn't get their name right, did I?
It's Montana. M-A-N-T-A-N.
Montana. Thank you. Please, more. We need a lot of calls. I am so behind on the pledging for the station. I feel useless to the station unless I can see those phones ringing. And I mean that. I want to hold my end of the bargain up. I want to honor this station for having me here.
Lines are open. Lines are open. Get your calls in, please.
And people are listening online, of course, so you can go to kpft.org and click that donate button and then click the little drop down, and then you could get Mr. Egberto's
Politics
book.
Done Right, yeah?
Yeah, no, the book.
Oh, the book,
as
yeah.
I see it.
Yes, as I see it.
Yeah.
Class warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom. Yeah, done.
Oh, you want me to go into hard pitching now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll do it.
Then and after your hard pitch, I'm going to the blog of the week. So while Don is hard pitching, folks, please, I have a really real good blog of the week. I really, really do that. I need to go, but I just want to ask you, those that are listening, don't leave us now. Please just call and make that thing. And the blog of the week you're gonna like. Go ahead, Don.
No, make that.
Go to the blog of the week.
No, go. Make the pledge, folks. 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. If I sound a little different this week, or since you guys have heard me, that's because I got 2 teeth pulled out, and they gave me Tylenol 3s. I'm sitting there going, no, I cannot take these and work at the same time. So I'm struggling through some things, but it's not the first time, because the first actual fund drive that I participated in while I was working here, I had a huge thing on the side of my mouth as I was sitting here going, yeah, Jeff Berg, let's get some money out. 713-526-5738, crying in between every single time. I didn't have to do that. I don't have to be here now. I have enough people where somebody else could be sitting here. But the thing is I want this station to work so bad. I want people to actually sit there and go, you know where I heard this? 90.1 KPFT. There's a station out there that gives a damn about people, that cares about my culture, that's a representation of what we do. That's what I want. I want every single time somebody goes to the radio, you can listen to the rap, the hip-hop, the R&B, the Safe 99.1. You can listen to all that, but at the same time, when you come to this station, just know you're going to hear something different, because that's what we are here for.
Preach.
We are here for the people, not for the corporations. And trust me, I get the emails from these huge corporations. Chevron just offered us money. I said, no, we do not stand for oil money, because I know what you do with that oil money. You destroy lives. We don't do that here. This is KPFT. We stand up for the little person and for the big person. It doesn't matter. All the way to the top. But the thing is if you are downtrodden, we will stand with you, because we are you. 713-526-5738. We will not stop fighting until we cannot fight anymore, until they take the 100,000 watts away from us, until they take Huntsville away from us, until they take Galveston away from us, until they take every single breath away from us. 713-526-5738. KPFT is here to stay. It will grow no matter how much you hate the growth of a station, which is crazy to me that you are scared of growth. But guess what? The only way we could ever do anything in this world is with growth, and growth hurts.
Let me thank you so kindly for saying that. Don is absolutely correct. Folks, this is a passionate young man that is intent on making this station, along with the entire crew here, a station of today and tomorrow. A station that is moving forward, a station that is, and you know what? And you're going to have a whole lot of other Politics Done Rights and shows that are there to really move forward. So please give us a call at 713-526-5738. Any phones ringing yet? 713-526-5738. What I'm going to do is let me do the blog of the week, because I want people to digest this and feel it. So what time is it, my dear brothers and my sisters? Are you queued for the blog of the week?
It's time for the weekly blog post.
Now, please listen to this blog post, and if there are pieces in this blog post that for some reason go over your head, it shouldn't, but if for some reason I said it, I missed my words, I want to ask you to call me, drop me a line, or whatever you need to do, because I want the concept within this blog post understood. So here we go. A dear friend and Politics Done Right subscriber sent me this meme a few weeks ago. I was appalled, but it tells an important story about our economy every American must understand. It's a bit more complicated, and not understanding it is the reason we accept our continual decline. Again, it is a bit more complicated, and not understanding it is the reason we accept our continual decline. Please continue reading and share. Share the story. Share what we're saying. It is important. Our economic system is designed to rob the masses of all of their income, thus preventing the growth of our wealth. We are doomed if we do not fix it. I want you to understand that one sentence, because it's the whole tenet. Our system is designed so that you will never be able to accumulate wealth, because as soon as you're making it, it's taken away from you. And this is how it works, my brothers and sisters. The meme that my brother sent me said this. The meme says the following. Humalog insulin, and those of you with diabetes know what it is. Humalog insulin, released in 1996, remains unchanged since its release, but its price increased 1,700% or more since then, from $21 a vial to $275 a vial. An average 1 year supply, that's 36 vials, has gone from $750 to $13,500 with zero changes to insulin. In other words, the insulin didn't change. The same old material is the same thing. Now, gouging Americans for a life or death drug has consequences, as noted at MedBedge today. One witness at the hearing, Paul Grant of Grade New, Gloucester, Maine, described the process he went through to get insulin for his 13-year-old son, who has had type 1 diabetes for 4 years. Grant noted that his employer doesn't provide health insurance, so he is paying for it himself through the Affordable Care Act's insurance marketplace, which is very expensive and very complicated. With his high deductible plan, Grant spent $2,500 on diabetes supplies for his son in 2017. He had been paying $300 for a 90-day supply of Humalog. That seemed like a lot until this past January, when I called to refill my son's Humalog prescription. It was going from $300 to $900 for a 90-day supply. I kind of went into a panic mode. He said he bought a 30-day supply at Walmart for $322 with a coupon until he could figure out a plan. Grant is now buying insulin from a Canadian pharmacy, which charges $295 for a 90-day supply, including shipping. For comparison, last week he looked up the price of a 90-day supply of Humalog at Express Scripts. It would cost him $1,500. In other words, he went to Canada and it cost him $300 or $295. And it cost them $1,500 here in the States for a 90-day supply. Before I continue the blog, I want to remind you something. Check this out. Cory Booker, the guy everybody's loving right now as he's running as a Democrat, he voted to say Americans cannot go to Canada or any other country to bring the drugs in, even though they know the pharmaceuticals are terrorizing Americans with their pricing schemes. Okay? Now, Jeremy Green, MD, PhD, professor of medicine at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore and a practicing physician, has heard similar stories. Over the past decade in my clinic, when I asked patients why they were not taking the insulin as prescribed, I frequently heard that the cost of insulin is prohibitive. He told the committee, although Green first thought maybe he was just prescribing an expensive name brand insulin instead of a cheaper generic one, I was surprised to hear that generic insulin simply did not exist. Instead, 3 pharmaceutical manufacturers, Sanofi Aventis, Novo Nordisk, and Eli Lilly, control 99% of the nearly $27 billion global insulin market, even though one of the main agents used as protected by patents, said Green. A recent survey found that 1 of 4 type 1 diabetics admitted to rationing insulin at least once due to cost in the past. Humalog was $21 a vial in 1996, and by 2017, it was $275. This has consequences for Americans living with diabetes. Folks, this is what I call legalized murder. Legalized murder. When there was no cost increase in products, and you multiplied the price by 17 times, 1,700%. No difference again, folks. No difference in the product. The same product. It doesn't charge anything else to make it. Just because they can do it, they do it. And in the process, people have to go without and die. That is legalized murder. Nobody's talking like that. You're not going to hear that on ABC, CBS, NBC. They're not going to tell people the way things really are. If I voluntarily cause your death, it is at least involuntary manslaughter. If I involuntarily cause your death, and that's what pharmaceuticals are doing to Americans every day for patents they don't even own. Folks, now here is the story. This is the part of the blog I really want you to understand. That was a story of insulin. That was a story of companies being able to price the market. Here is what I want you to hear now. It is easy to understand why the increase in price of drugs has life or death consequences in the immediacy. What is not immediately apparent is how this mechanism, this economic system by design is intended to rob you blind. Insulin is an old medicine, over 100 years old. There is no patent on it. Worse, as noted in the article above, it was virtually placed in the public domain. Therefore, it should be one of the cheapest drugs on the market. There is a virtual monopoly in companies selling the product. They determine the price. The private sector determines how much they will force you to pay for a drug you must have. Pricing of any product in our economic system is based on a corrosive concept known as whatever the market will bear. Whatever the market will bear. And what will the market bear? Here's the thing, folks. Understand the concept of what the market will bear. All of your income plus your total credit worthiness, how much you can borrow. That is what the market will bear. In other words, we won't allow you to accumulate wealth. We will take whatever we can from you because we have pricing power. Sadly, the reality is that corporations whose fiduciary responsibility is to their shareholders and their huge undeserved salaries will keep raising prices until people are simply unable to afford what they are selling. If it is something they must have, Americans will spend up to their limit to get it. And what is their limit? All of their income plus all the credit they can get. All of your money, you cannot accumulate wealth. That is what our economic system does to you right now. The tenets of the current economic system are predicated on this behavior that effectively prevents us from saving. It makes us entitled entities that are nothing but conduits of our income. The regular people's income used to create the increasing wealth of a few, those who determine prices, the plutocrats. You own a factory. You don't own a factory. All those that own the means of production, the private sector, the corporatocracy, they determine what the market will bear, and the market will always bear your total income plus your credit worthiness. Remember that, folks. It's by design that you cannot accumulate wealth. Anytime you talk about those stockholders and the stockbrokers, that's not for you. That is for the 10 to 20%. Yes, some of you have a little shares here and a little share there. Those are peanuts. They're there to take your wealth away. If you doubt me, look at your own bank account. I can say this with certainty. 80% of the people at least listening to my voice right now, they have issues with that bank account. In the past, when we made taxes very high on income after $1 million, there was no incentive for the legal robbery of the American people through predatory pricing because the ill-gotten gains were recycled back to the people via taxes. People always say, well, why have 90% tax rates on your income? Well, what it does is the reason that person in corporate America can make hundreds of thousands of dollars is they have pricing power. And they price their products higher than needed so that that money gets funneled right back to them. That high salary that they make is your money. Understand how it works, my brothers and my sisters. It's your money. Whenever a price goes up when the cost of the product doesn't, that is just a corporation saying, you know what? I want to make more money. I'm going to take it from you and give it to the shareholders. Remember, everything else stayed the same. Insulin didn't go up in price. They determined that they wanted more money for their shareholders and more profits for the executives, so what they did, they take the people who had zero pricing power and they took that money. Understand the concept of how this economy functions. It is designed. Whatever the market will bear. Whatever the market will bear. Remember those words. Whatever the market will bear. So I'm going to repeat this paragraph. In the past, when we made taxes very high on income after a few million, there was no incentive for the legal robbery of American people through predatory pricing. There was no incentive to just raise the price indefinitely ad infinitum. There was none. But now there is. As politicians on the take started reducing and eliminating taxes, the results are clear. Our colleges are more expensive than they should. Schools are underfunded. Our infrastructure is deteriorating. 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. But a few people get extremely wealthy, not on their worth or work. Not on their worth. Not on their work. But their manipulation of prices, the pricing power, the means of production in the private sector, the pricing power. When unregulated, the pricing power comes for your money. The pricing power takes your disposable income. The pricing power makes sure you cannot win. The pricing power means you will never, ever be able to develop wealth. Now, I want to go back to Egberto one more time before I finish this blog real quickly. I had a software company. I wrote software. I controlled the pricing of the software. I controlled the books of the software, everything. I had pricing power. I'm going to tell you something that somebody called me extremely stupid about. 2 quick stories, and this is important. But call 713-526-5738. But I want to tell this story. 713-526-5738. Folks, my brothers and sisters, I need those calls. You want people to hear the truth. You want people to know why it is that they have to rebel against the system through their vote. These are the things we must hear. But before I finish, I tell my 2 stories and finish the blog, let's ask Lupita. Lupita, por favor, dígame que tenemos algo para que conseguimos un poquito de dinero.
Sí tenemos. Special shout out to Joe for his generous donation to Politics Done Right on KPFT.
Muchísimas gracias. Only Joe?
Yes, only that, unfortunately. But like I said, the lines are open. We're here, we're ready, and we're eager to take your calls. So please call 713-526-5738.
I'm going to, before I finish the blog of the week and before I tell my quick 2 stories, I'm going to ask Don to do a little bit of pitching for me because we need to get those phones ringing, Don.
All right. Well, you're getting into capitalism.
Wait. Don,
it's the
Don. Brother, let me. I want to interrupt you for a second, and let me tell you why I want to interrupt you, Don. It's not time for me to say that yet. I have to make the case.
Yeah.
What happened is when you start using certain words, you immediately block the conversation.
Of course. But that's what I'm saying. You're getting into the fringes of capitalism, and that's why I question Kamala Harris's I love capitalism.
Right.
You love capitalism? Be careful what you say. Folks, this is why KPFT is such a big foundation and something that is needed so much. Because whenever you listen to this dial, whether it's music, whether it's conversations like what me and Egberto will have about capitalism and more. These are things that won't be said on your safe radio stations. Let's just say that, where they come on and they're just giving you the news today in Venezuela. Okay, yes, but what made that happen? Why is Africa being taken over by China? When is somebody going to talk about that? Do we want to wait till it becomes vogue? No, KPFT doesn't wait till anything becomes vogue. We see it and we talk about it. We don't need all the answers. We need to actually educate you about something that you know how to educate yourself. You know Google. You're not stupid. But the thing is, we come to you with all of these things that we have found out, and we go, you know what? Let's break this down a little bit more. Because something's wrong here. They took over a whole country. China took an African country, and nobody said a damn thing about it. This is what's going on in your world. Think about what's happening in your local. It's so many things. Trust me, folks, down the line, you will see why a lot of people don't eat bacon. because China bought out all of our bacon, all of our actual farms that have hogs on them. It's all Chinese owned. Why is that? Because they do this over and over and over again. Folks, do not be fooled by the system. That's what I always have been talking about, is the system. We're not mad at each other. Red, blue. No, we're mad at the system. The system is built for us to be mad at each other. That is a problem. So KPFT comes in and goes, you know what? We're mad at the system. We have answers to a better system.
Absolutely so.
That's why we ask you to call 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738. Do not let Naboo walk out that room. Get on that phone, 713-526-5738. He is the last person to fill up all those phones, 713-526-5738, or go on kpft.org and click that donate button and get a book or one of the new t-shirts for $100. And we have a brand new hemp bag, because I know that you guys would not accept anything less but hemp. That's why we got a hemp bag.
But please don't smoke the bag.
You can smoke the bag, and we'll be your supplier.
Anyhow, folks, I'm going to continue now, because tell me somebody's at least on the phone.
You got 2 on the phone.
Okay, folks, we need to fill those phones up. We need 3 more calls. 713-526-5738. Please, I implore you. Look, what we're doing here is the right thing, brothers and sisters. And, every time I leave the show, I say, oh, I love you and all that kind of stuff. And people wonder, just these are not real words. I love humanity. I love humanity. And what drives me crazy is what this system is doing to people is dehumanizing us. I live in Kingwood. People laugh anytime I tell them, oh man, how do you survive? You pinko liberal in Kingwood? They must eat you up. No, they don't. Guess what? My buddies see my car out there. They come to, yes, it's funny. Stop giving me a hard time. I saw you. Anyhow, so they'll come in there. By the way, I support all the private coffee shops as well, okay? All of them. I drink coffee so much. Anyhow, so they'll see there, and one came in on Saturday. Berto, I came in here twice and you weren't here. And, he had to talk to me about what do you think now when we go into our Trump and all these things. And we end the conversation. Sometimes we get so loud in that Starbucks that the baristas want to know what's going to happen. But you know what? We leave and they're hugging me, or we shake hands and all of it, because I tell you what. Ultimately, folks know one thing. Even if they know that our ideology don't mesh, that we are not going to let externalities force us to hate each other. Do you think I hate Trump voters? Hell no. Do you think I hate my brothers in Appalachia who are still racist, but I always have hope for? Hell no. Because it takes 2 to fight. I don't do that, brothers, sisters. I don't. And I'm trying to be an example of what we can be against a system that is trying to dehumanize us. And I'm not going to let that happen, baby. I won't let that happen. So let me tell you this quick thing. 713-526-5738. Any phones up? Come on.
Yes, so we have 2 people to thank, and we have also 2 of our volunteers on the phone right now.
Thank you, Lupita.
So we have Bruce from Kingwood.
Thank you, Bruce.
And then Christine from Katy.
Thank you, Christine.
And then our other pledges are currently being processed.
Okay, we need more pledges. Remember, guys, I told you, and I wasn't lying to you. I don't do that kind of stuff. Last week, I left here and I asked Don, hey, how did I do? Because, I'm sitting back here in the studio, and he gave me it's all right. But I knew that all right was like, Egberto, you sucked. So you have to help me out. 713-526-5738. Now, I'm going to tell you 2 stories, and these are some important stories, and I hope I remember. My mind sometimes gets fried. The first story that I was going to tell you, I forgot what the story was going to be about, so let me finish the blog first. Okay, it goes like this. As politicians on the take Start reducing and eliminating taxes. The results are clear. Our colleges are more expensive than they should. Schools are underfunded. Our infrastructure is deteriorating. 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. But a few people get extremely wealthy, not on their worth or work, but their manipulation of price. And is that what you want? Is this even living? We should learn from a couple of Danish women who talked to Oprah a few years ago, telling her, you think social democrats are somehow not the way to go? Look at the kind of life we have, and we are very, very, very smart in what we do. Now, I had 2 stories to tell you, and would you know that I completely forgot the 2 stories I'm going to tell? And these were darn good stories. You know what? That happens sometimes. So that means until I remember, I need to say 713-526-5738. And it was something that happened. 713-526-5738. Don?
I don't remember your stories.
You don't remember my story?
I'm sorry.
What were we talking about before I said that about the stories? We were talking about something.
I don't know. We started getting into capitalism a little bit, and then you backed away because you want to slow walk it. You can slow walk all you want to, but capitalism's coming around that corner.
Yes,
and it's the dirty capitalism. It's not the clean capitalism. It's not fair capitalism. It's not the capitalism that actually sits there and goes, you know what? How much money do you have? Okay, I'm not going to take all of that. Just give me $5. Capitalism. No. It's the capitalism. How much money do you have? Okay, how much money does your mom have? How much money does your grandmother have?
And how much credit do you have?
How much credit do you have? Right. Can you put credit in your daughter's name that can't even talk yet? Let's do that. Let's take all that money. That's the capitalism.
713.
That's the problem with capitalism.
713-526-5738. Lupita, tenemos más.
Sí, tenemos a Kevin, who is a lawyer listener to Politics Done Right.
Thank you so kindly, Kevin.
And then we have another pledge that's still being processed, but they're coming in. So we encourage everyone to keep calling because our volunteers are ready to pick up your calls.
And we need you so badly. Folks, I need you to call 713-526-5738. Again, that is 713-526-5738. I remember one of the stories that I was going to tell. It was about my software company. I make a software. If you've gone to a Texaco or any one of those pumping stations, some of my software and hardware that Jerry Pace and I designed years ago are in some of these equipments. In other words, when the data that goes from the pumps to the computer system and then over the satellite, use some of my software. So anyhow, I license this software, right? And there are times that I'll just tell it bluntly. The license went for a whole bunch of money initially. There was one license for one particular company, was $10,000. But here's why I brought that up, and show you the evil of our system. When I made a certain amount of money that, I said, okay, my daughter's stuff is funded that I can go to school or whatever. I didn't have to have some of these higher prices on my product, and silly me. That's what people said about me, but I think I did the honorable thing. I said, well, when the cost of the product goes down, you make the price less expensive for the consumer. And I don't mean in the form that Walmart make the price less so that they just happen to sell a hell of a lot more and make more money on it. I'm talking about, I just thought it was the right thing to do. That's just how my mentality works, okay? So I brought it down. So one guy the other day in Starbucks told me how foolish I was, okay? And I said, no, I wasn't. And I said, you don't realize it. I had pricing power. I had pricing power. But even though I was selling this software to the Exxons or the NASA or to these different companies, that money was percolating down eventually to that person who's struggling as a waiter that is pumping his gas at that station. The little bit of few pennies of that equipment is based on my pricing power. Think about the thousands of people's technology who goes into a product that decided to make their pricing high. It means we got our cash, we got our wealth, we got our income from our pricing power that you eventually paid for. So if I charge a hell of a lot, eventually I'm asking you to contribute a hell of a lot down the chain. So you have to be pragmatic. You have to realize that you have to be not only self-sustaining, but self-maintaining to keep the system going. That's the reason when I talk about those with price and power have to also have morals, ethics, etc. Because their price and power means they're taking your money. Anybody with price and power is taking your money. Okay? And eventually it's the lowest person on the totem pole who loses, because they're the ones with absolutely no price and power. That person who works at Walmart has absolutely zero price and power. That's who I look out for. That's who I stand out for, because I understand that everybody from the executive of corporations all the way down, they have price and power. They are the ones who control the market, and that is where the evil. Okay, look, folks, we need folks to go 713-526. I just got a piece of information that said I need to raise some more money, a few more bucks. So 713-526-5738. Let's recover from this week and last week. 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. So that is a story about my price and power that I wanted to talk about, and tell you that we have to come to the realization, right? No rich. Yesterday on my show, my daily show, I told folks that you know where the biggest welfare recipients live? In gated communities. Those are the biggest welfare recipients. And people, they stood back. No, those people work hard for their money. No, they did not. We have to start getting it right. You know that waiter that serves me? You know why I've always been a good tipper? Because I get it. That waiter that is serving me don't know the amount of respect I have for them. That garbage man that picks up my trash doesn't understand the amount of respect I have for him. That guy, my house flooded with the last big rain, and I got some contractors to come in, and they could do work that I couldn't do. The respect I had for them. Oleg, my Trump voting contractor, I have a lot of respect for. He came in and we sat down and we talked liberal versus conservative, and we talked about Obamacare. So my Trump-loving Obamacare contractor, I have so much respect for. We have to start looking in the right direction. We have to start looking at the way things really are. 713-526-573. I really need you to call, folks. I really need to make my manager proud. I really need to make Naboo proud. I really need to make all these people that work in this place proud. Let's do it. Mira, Lupita, ¿qué me cuentas, amiga?
Yes, I got some good news for you.
Please.
So we got John.
Thank you so kindly, John.
And he wanted to share that he's been listening and supporting since 1996.
Love you, John.
And then we also have an anonymous donor that wanted to say that he really liked the discussion on the insulin prices that you just had.
Thank you so kindly.
And then we currently have another pledge being processed.
Okay, we need some more. Thank you so. Look, I love you guys. I love you for what you're doing. I'm begging you. I'm urging you. What is the other word that I can use? You know, my head today is, I came in here sleepy because, you know, I'm kind of sleep deprived. I've been doing a whole lot. So, 713-526-5738. I implore you. That's the word I wanted to use,
You're
Lupita.
Pleading.
I'm pleading, Lupita. ¿Qué más puedo decir? Dime algo más. Dime algo en español que puedo decir.
Desperate?
Estoy desesperado. 713-526-5738. Hey guys, look, let me tell you something. Politics done right. I think, I don't know if Don is closing down the pledge drive on Sunday or not, but whatever the case is, I want to thank you guys for being wonderful listeners, wonderful supporters. And I look, I know there are a lot of people who are doing the best they can. I'm asking those who can do better to please do so. Let me tell you something. Politics on right don't get a penny here. We are doing all of this for the station. We need to have this station, and as Don said, there's so much going on. If you see what these guys have started to do at this station, I come in all the time. When I come in on Tuesdays, and I go up and I tell Naboo and Don and I tell Bobby, I look at you guys and say, hey, you youngsters are doing a damn good job, man. Thank you for holding down the fort and doing what needs to be done. You know, I'm an activist out there in the field. I'm an activist out there doing my blogs. I'm an activist doing so. All of us have our place to play in this activism world to make it better for us all. And those of you who can't do what we are doing, who can't do what Naboo is doing right now, who can't do what Don is doing, who can't do what Lupita is doing right now, the one thing we can ask you to do is do what you can with those dollars. If you have those extended dollars, I know you can use a few of it for us. 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Give me 5 calls before I go, please, please. Anybody on the phone there, Nabu? One on the phone. We can take 4 more. Please, folks, give us a call. 713. They'll take care of you right away. I promise.
I'll come out there and answer phones myself. 713-526-5738. We got about 2 minutes left.
Oh, yes. And I stole a few seconds from Jenner Asian Radio. I owe them a few seconds. I feel guilty when I do that. But these are my brothers, man. These guys jam. I'll be going home today in my car with some great music, Nabu.
That's right. That's right. Stay tuned for that. But hey, right now we want to make the goal for Politics Done Right. Again, this is one of the only places where you're going to hear independent thought without corporate dollars behind it. And if you appreciate a program like this, right now is the time to call. You can also text GIVE to 713-526-5738 to get an online donation link, or you can come to 419 Lovett Boulevard and drop off your pledge of support. This is the most amazing social experiment to have independent media in this day and age, where everything seems to be run by the corporate dollar. So show your pledge of support right now. We got some phone lines still open and some volunteers still out there ready to take your call.
Absolutely. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the program today. When I had to decide today how much of the program was going to be program and how much was going to be pitching, because we have to raise the money for the thing. And I said, you know what? I want to keep you here. I want to be able to give something of substance. So when I sat down and I wrote that blog about insulin, I wanted it to be more than just insulin. I wanted to show the entire pathway of what's happening in this country, and I wanted to do it in a way that I didn't have to take up the entire period of time, and at the same time has some time to pitch in and give you a reason to stay with me.
Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Williams. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is, at Egberto Williams. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.